Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to an all-new Shadowhunters after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 4, titled Day of the Wrath, and as you can see, we have a very special guest, Maxim Roy, in the studio with us, so please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everyone, thank you again so much for tuning into our Shadowhunters after show here at AfterBuzzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I am joined by the lovely Maxim Roy. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You tore my heart out.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And it wasn't your heart being torn out. It was mine.
That's right.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
I know, I'm sorry too.
I was really sorry.
For those that don't know, where can everyone find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter. It's MLLE, which is short for Mademoiselle, Maxim Roy. I'm on Instagram. What's my Instagram again? I think it's just Maxim Roy with an underscore. Yeah. And Facebook, I have a Facebook page.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Awesome.
And of course, Dakota T. Jones and Becca Brown.
What's up, guys? You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Hi, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
And of course, guys, don't forget to follow AfterBuzzz TV at AfterBuzzz TV on all social media platforms. As many of you know, we use the hashtag ABTV Shadowhunters.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this week we used the hashtag ABTV Ask Jocelyn. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of amazing questions that we're going to get to tonight, and we're in the live chat, so keep on chatting. Wow. That was that was a bit of a downer of an episode, huh?
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
I gotta say, though, your performance is always amazing. It always is. And it's like one of those things where everyone doesn't want you to go, but we're just so proud of everything that you've done for the show. And
thank you.
We just love your character. And it's going to be sad to say goodbye, but...
I'm not saying goodbye.
Okay. It's see you later.
Sam's totally in denial.
I'm in denial too. I'm not saying goodbye.
No, I get this way, but I'm right some of the times because I love all these supernatural type shows. Mm-hmm. So dead, might
Have you
not
read
really
the
be
books?
Dead. I read the first book, and
Okay.
I decided to stop because I wanted to be surprised.
Oh, okay. Have you read the books?
I've not.
Okay, so neither of you.
I
like,
just
it's all
read a little bit
one.
of the first one. But
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So, okay.
Have you read all the books?
No. But I was going to, but no. But I know not anymore. No, but I know what was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you haven't read the books, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of our fans, this was a huge surprise to them because thus far, I think, they've been very in line with the books from what we know from our fans and Wiki. But this was, I think, the biggest turn that Shadowhunters has taken as far as veering away from the books.
Mm-hmm. It was huge, yeah. I mean, they have brought in some characters that were supposed to be later in the story, in the books. I mean, my character was supposed to wake up, I think, in book 3, and they woke me up earlier. So,
I'm so happy they at least woke you up for a few episodes,
But yeah, I know that they did a couple of things like that, but definitely this one is a huge departure from the books, for sure.
Definitely.
Everyone on the chat is in denial too.
Yeah.
Well,
They're like, no, she's not dead.
Not dead.
Not
no
dead.
way.
No.
And Tina in the chat said, after some thinking, I think Valentine, what'd she say, has Jocelyn somehow. Yeah, I agree. I think that Valentine, he wouldn't kill his lady love like that. He might have her in his own little, I don't know.
But the thing is, it was a demon. It was a demon, though, that did it. So he doesn't usually have any control over demons. He's more of like, he's in charge of those kind of mock shadow hunters in a sense. He is making his own army. So that's the only reason I wouldn't think that he is the one who would be behind anything, just because he can't control the demons, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't wait to see his reaction. I hope he has a major meltdown.
Yes.
I hope they gave him that to play.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Alan is a friend of mine, but he hasn't told me anything, so I don't know his reaction is, but I hope he loses it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like Isaiah definitely is gonna lose it, just because of, I don't know if did you see that clip last night where he was like flipping tables and chairs and accidentally broke some glass or something like that. Like he was so upset.
Oh my.
Like,
What, from scenes from next week?
no,
or?
like this is
No,
actually
from watching last
after
night.
he live chat, he literally started flipping tables or chairs.
out.
I love him.
And then he
reactions.
accidentally broke something that was glass, and he's like, "Oh, it was funny."
Did he say something about episode 4 when he was here? I think he warned us a little bit, but I didn't think much of it at the time.
He said in these next few episodes, Luke's going to be going through the fire. We said describe it in 3 words, and he said through the fire. So
Wow.
Yeah,
makes
definitely
sense.
definitely.
It's all my fault.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your character's return this season and kind of, you know, a lot of the fans' reactions were mixed the first few episodes, and Jocelyn made some choices that were very questionable and weren't loved by the fans, and we've been waiting so long for her return. What are your feelings on the choices that your character made? And I mean, do you think, like, as an actress that was hard to play because you knew that the fans were going to hate what she was doing?
I didn't think of it when I was doing it because I thought that I would have a lot of time to redeem myself because I knew what the story was. So I definitely, like, I thought I was gonna. I'm the one who's supposed to come out and say, "Oh, I can't say that because you guys haven't read the books." I was going to totally spoil it for you. But I'm supposed to, you know, like, save the day on many things.
Yeah.
So I really thought, well, it's fine. I mean, they'll react well at some point and they'll see that Jocelyn isn't. I mean, the one thing that I don't really understand is the fans' reactions to her trying to protect Clary as much. Like, I was very surprised that they were so angry with her. So I didn't really understand. I thought maybe it was me that they didn't like, which is totally possible.
No.
Yeah, no.
I just wanted you to say that. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But so it was sort of. I mean, it's been like a roller coaster because you have the fans that read the books and then you have the new fans. So the fans that read the books, a lot of them didn't like the book, Jocelyn, and liked me.
Yeah.
And but didn't understand what was going on, so it was very mixed. Like, and for someone who hasn't read all the books, I was sort of like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to answer.
I think when it comes down to it, she's a strict mom who cares about Clary.
Yeah.
And
Like
wants
any
to
other
protect
mother.
Clary. Yeah.
Like, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have totally done the same thing. She risked her life. She saved the human race because she stole the cup. She ran away. And I think people forgot that. And she totally sacrificed her own life to protect her daughter and to protect the human race.
Yeah.
So, and
That's a really good
She
point.
means well.
she stole the cup for a reason.
Yeah.
For, you know, she stole it from the devil. So and I think the fans forgot that she was just trying to, she was juggling all these things and to protect her daughter and to protect the human race and to protect Luke, and so she had a lot on her plate, and I think the fans forgot about that. And I think it wasn't written in as well, like, if, you know, that wasn't explained either.
Yeah.
I mean, I will just say that from the pilot episode, your presence, you know, even though it was cut short after the pilot episode, your bond with Clary and just being
It's so
such
important.
like, you could see the love that you emitted to your daughter and how protective you were. And that's when, you know, when you got put to sleep or whatever you'll call it for the rest of the season, it hurt us, even though we barely knew you, for those that were new to the series.
Yeah.
And I just think that from the beginning, your loving bond was very obvious and clear. And I think, and everyone in the chat was like, "No, we love you, Maxim. Like, you're the best."
Yeah.
And
I've had so many offers for adoptions. You have no idea.
Adoption
how many,
papers in
like,
the mail.
The fans are just, please adopt me, please be my mom. So yeah, it's very
that's so
endearing.
cute.
Yeah, very cute.
well,
You'd have a lot of children.
Yeah, oh
Like
my
fan mail.
goodness.
Here's an adoption paper.
Yeah.
so many.
Oh
So
my God.
we start off tonight's episode with Jace. You know, we see him, City of Bones, all of that, and he has, creepy. They did a very nice job. I thought it was actually very pretty and scary at the same time. Like, when they show Clary going down there and the view of that whole thing, I thought that was pretty cool.
That was a cool set.
Very cool.
Yeah, it looked very real to me. And Clary goes down to see him, and Jace, you know, it's awkward because they still love each other. but not like brother and sister love, like we'll get
like
into
love,
later.
love.
Yeah, like actual love.
Very twisted.
Very
Very twisted.
And I do know this from the books, and I hope I'm really truly not spoiling this for many fans, but they're saying it in the chat. You know, Jocelyn is one of her biggest purposes is to kind of show that they aren't related.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say earlier.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I could.
Everyone talks about that. So
Okay,
we
so
did
you
kind
know.
of yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
yeah.
I didn't think of that. That's crazy. Now, like, if she won't be
Yeah,
around,
now
who's
who's
gonna?
her-
That's one of the things that I was hoping I was like gonna save the day and go, wait a minute, you're not brother and sister. You
Yeah.
know, like I really thought I was gonna get that chance to
Be like,
to play
Clary,
that.
you go, girl.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
Here's
Get it. It's okay.
Go chase James.
That's right.
He's not
That's
your
so
brother.
true. That makes that totally messes with my mind now because I wasn't thinking of that. But that's so true because that was such a big part of you being like, wait a minute, you guys are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I do think that because this change was so large from what we saw in the books, that we don't really know what's going to happen, which is exciting. I like
Maybe
that.
they are brother and sister after all.
Oh,
You know
dear
what?
God.
Maybe they're changing everything.
After last night, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would
No.
believe
No.
just about everything.
Yeah.
But Sam is like, no, don't do this
I'm
to
like,
me.
since when did incest become a thing? Like, this is...
It's freeform.
That's 2017 for you.
Yeah. There's some weird things
New
going
Year
on.
Things.
Yeah.
New year, new pot.
New president. There's
There's lots going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, too
Yeah.
many things.
Anyways, let's talk again about Clary and Jocelyn. They had some really nice scenes together, and it did scare me. I did know before I watched it, but I was like, oh, they're getting close again. And when those good things happen on TV, I just know it's going to be ripped away from me.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would literally be ripped, though.
Nice choice of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have been nice to. I was really hoping that she was going to mentor Clary. Like Jocelyn was going to get to actually mentor her and show her the way and being a great Shadowhunter, because Jocelyn is supposed to be this great, amazing fighter. So I was hoping for that, and it was really cut short. But we did have like some really cute scenes before. Yeah.
And Jocelyn, you know, you were supposed to move to Idris.
Which is that from the books, or is that kind of a new thing too thrown in? Because I
don't remember
That she was supposed to move to Idris.
Yeah.
I know Jocelyn was supposed to take over. Like she's supposed to become the head of the institute.
Yeah.
At some point, like she becomes in charge
Yeah.
of the institute, and so I don't really know if she was gonna go to Idris or
Wow.
not.
Because that was another thing that happened. I was kind of like, well, that's different. Like, I would get why as a mother you would want to take your family away from the crazy mess, because people are you know falling like flies, like all the the different
Literally.
people who are dying. And so I totally get why she as a mom would do that. But I thought it was a little bit like, well, what, that's going to be interesting, because if they all move there, then we're going to have this storyline and then have to cut to this. So I thought that was kind of a different choice. And then after what happened, it kind of made sense why they had said that, to kind of set it up for that. But yeah, that was another thing I was kind of like, that I don't think that was in the books, but maybe the people in the chat can let us know.
People still think that she's not dead in the chat. Just
Everyone
saying.
is like,
They
this
think
is...
Hodge is, but
Hodge, I mean,
we didn't really see a real death with Hodge. Like, we saw him being stabbed, which, looked like it hurt.
In the head.
like with a knife.
I get that. But we saw Jocelyn's
never know.
heart ripped out of her body.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't vampires. I'm a big fan of the Vampire Diaries, so I've seen a lot of hearts ripped out of bodies, but they somehow get put back.
Wow.
we need Simon.
Yeah, Simon.
No, I think it's too late.
No?
I think that Jocelyn at this point is going to take some more supernatural magic to bring her back from the dead than turning into a vampire. But that would be cool.
That'd be
She
a
just
twist.
became a
That'd be
vampire.
interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I do love that.
I'd be a fan.
I look good with pale makeup.
Yes.
Say.
So we have some Jocelyn and Luke. Finally, thank God.
Yes.
What are we calling it now?
Joss Luke.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn or
That's what I
Looseland.
know. There was Looseland. I loved Looseland. This sounded like a little dinosaur. One of the guys said. But they got a bit of action.
Yeah.
Finally.
A little
A
bit.
tiny little
Before
bit,
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Well, I said to Isaiah when he was here, I was like, so is this officially a thing? you know, you and Jocelyn.
For sure.
I just want to see you guys kiss.
Yeah.
And
he's like, wait for it.
Well, it was funny because when we did the kiss, we were like, have we kissed before?
Yeah.
Have we? Where was our first base, second base? And we had this whole conversation with the director, and then he went to the writers, and then he went like he asked a whole bunch of people. I'm like, no, we've been a couple like for years, so this has happened before. We know how to kiss because the first kiss. You don't know how to kiss someone.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the whole technical thing. Like, do we know how to kiss each other? Or do we, you know? So, yeah, they had been intimate before.
Yeah.
So.
That's what we figured, that they just made us wait for a kiss.
Exactly.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
And in my notes, I'm a 5-year-old. I literally put, they kiss.
Yeah.
So excited. But, you know, he basically says he wants to move to Idris with her. He's ready to give everything up. His pack, like, his life. And I am a bit surprised that Clary wasn't ready. I get she was mad at her mom, but she has lost her for a while. And I would just be like, whatever you want to do, Mom. I would kind of go with her. And her and Clary have a conversation about it. And she says, you know, I'm sorry I have too many people here. I have, you know, I need to stay here at the Institute.
I think it was a brave choice on her part to
I
say
understand why. I mean, she's so heavily involved, and I feel like if she were to move away with her family, that would be a great family bonding. But then at the same time, everything that she's just now learning and finally experiencing who she is,
be giving all that up.
She'd be giving that up. So I get why she'd want to stay, but it would be hard.
It would have been interesting to see her move for a little, like just one episode, just to go discover who she is and where she comes from, and have the backstory of the Shadowhunters and that whole, you know, sort of like the Lord of the Rings when they did the Hobbit.
Yeah.
You know, just how did it all start? Yeah. I as an audience would have liked to have seen that, to see where she comes from, how it happened, and have her mother and Luke or whoever at Idris explain to her how it happened.
Well, you remember there was that episode last season. Sorry, Becca. There was an episode last season where it was when Clary didn't the alternate universe when she didn't know she was
so much fun.
That looked.
That was one of my favorites.
But how cool would it have been if there was a episode with an alternate universe where she did move to Idris and where she basically followed in those footsteps and you were still alive, and you know what really would have happened.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
Writers,
denial coming back.
Find me on Twitter at Sam.
That's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
Because everyone loved that episode last year.
Everybody loved doing it too. I think all the actors were.
And
real.
they're like constantly in and out of portals. Like I could see them kind of stumbling across an alternate universe again maybe someday.
Yeah.
So that would be neat. I feel like that would be kind of like playing with fans' hearts in a sense, because you'd be like bringing a character back that everyone knows and loves. But I mean, that would be nice to have something, you know? Yeah.
Like Gandalf. Again, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. So like Gandalf when he becomes Gandalf the White.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's going to be a lot of really crazy turns with, like I said, I don't think Jocelyn is totally gone, whether it's, you know, in another dimension, portals, if she comes back, whatever. We're going to get more into the devastation that your death brought towards the end.
Devastation.
There might be some crying.
Is this weird for you? Because it's one of those things where all of a sudden everyone is just so emotional about like a character you're playing, and everything has been fine up until now, and then is it kind of overwhelming, everyone going like, oh my gosh, like I'm so devastated? Is it kind of like emotionally tolling it all? Or?
I've been through this before. This has happened to me before.
Really?
Yeah, on a show that I'd been doing for 4 years.
Wow.
But it was my decision to leave.
Okay.
So I was fine with it. But it was, I mean, the producer had asked me to do a video and put it online. Like, fine, this was my decision. You have to go on and watch the show. It was the oddest thing. There were like newspaper articles.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a huge thing. And,
what show was that, if you don't mind?
It was a Canadian show.
Oh, okay.
I love Canadian shows, though.
Really?
Yes, I do. I'm a big Canadian show fan. What was it
What
called?
do you watch?
I used to really love Being Erica. That's what got me into the Canadian shows. And I mean, then Orphan Black. Huge Orphan Black fan.
Heartland? Have you
Yes,
ever watched?
love that
I would
too.
know Heartland.
Oh, yes. Yes, you were.
Yeah.
You were on Heartland.
It's Miranda.
It's been a few years. My Netflix binge was like a year and a half ago, so it's millions of years ago for me. I've had so many other shows since then, but I love Canadian shows.
Me too, actually.
You do some good stuff, honestly. We're underrated, I find. But,
What's the underdog? And then they like creep up, and now Tatiana Maslany has an Emmy, which I'm just very excited about. Yes, Orphan Black, for those that don't know. Mm-hmm. But we have this whole demon hunting situation. To me, I was like, oh, here I am back with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Her cat is named Buffy.
My cat is named Buffy.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I was like, oh, here we go. And to me, Clary is like literally turning into Buffy. Mm-hmm. I was like, look at you. She's got it.
She's so strong.
Yeah, she does. And it was so cool to see like the interaction between her and Alec, because that's kind of always been like a tense situation. So seeing them forced together was really neat. I like to see that scene.
I want more of that, because I like them kind of sort of being forced to get along.
Yeah.
I have a lot of feelings about them right now.
Especially Alec.
Well, it's hard. There seems to be a division now, and it's just awkward. And it's like, well, I tried to kill your mom. I tried to kill your sister, but no, I killed your mom. Sorry, killed your mom. Tried to kill your sister. Now, what's going to happen? And we'll get to that at the end. But even at the beginning, Alec talks to her about, oh, you're moving to Idris. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And like convinces her.
Trying to get her to go.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
Like, rude. I know you want me to leave. And
Right.
I feel like that made Clary want to stay.
He's got so much
even
attitude.
more.
He's got so much attitude, that guy.
I know.
Yes. But it's very like...
It's realistic.
It's very like... very dry and kind of like serious. It's not like it's very like, oh yeah, and he just says things and you're like, that little like what in the world? Like he just says things and you wait and you think about it and you're like, oh, did he just say that? Like
yeah.
Exactly.
And he's just like stone faced.
Yeah.
He's like,
boom.
What? I didn't do anything. But this demon is hopping from person to person, killing people.
It was intense.
That was intense. That was the first time we've ever really seen anything like that. Like going from one person to the next, and then like harboring itself in someone's body to get taken to the institute and then coming back out. That was interesting.
I've just got to say, there's been a lot of blood this season, and I wasn't prepared for any of that. I'm like,
I mean, it was really, really hard to watch, and as we did see some really fun scenes between characters. I don't think we get enough of scenes with, like we saw Izzy and God, I'm blanking, Lydia. We saw a fun Izzy Lydia scene. Liked that a lot.
Lydia is so underrated, in my opinion, in the show. I don't know.
No, I feel like she's gonna make her way up, and before we know it, everyone's gonna be happy she's taking over.
Yeah.
When she came on last season, everyone hated her.
Like,
and everyone didn't know what her intentions were.
Everyone hated her because of the Malik thing, I feel like, more so than anything.
She was getting in the way of love.
Well, do you know who's literally in the way all the time now? Is this Raj dude.
Oh my god.
Right? Raj. He's funny.
He's funny.
Did you see? He sings really well. Did you see the video I posted?
No.
Oh, on my Instagram. Go check it out.
All right,
yeah.
definitely.
He is funny and he's very attractive. But I'm like, just give us...
Yeah, he's very attractive.
Let me like you. You're just...
But he's the guy that you want to hate.
Yes.
I think that's his character. Like, you just want to... He's just, like, annoying and kind of go, oh, that guy. I think he's that guy. You need a guy like that in the show.
You do. And you can always look at a character like that and be like, oh, this reminds me of this one person in my life. Like,
Yeah, in high school. You kind of,
yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, speaking of high school, actually, from the network that brought you The Vampire Diaries and Gossip Girl comes the CW's wickedly irresistible new series, Riverdale. Welcome to Riverdale, the small town with big secrets. The story begins with a year at Riverdale High and the grisly discovery of the body of one of its brightest young stars. Ooh. As the shock of an entire town sets in, suspicious and questions arise. Who killed Jason Blossom and why? What did everybody really do over the summer and with whom? The series is based on characters from the beloved classic Archie comics. Did you ever read it? Which character are you? I'm Veronica, obviously. Are you a good girl like Betty or more of a Veronica? Are you like Golden Boy Archie or are you a misunderstood loner like Jughead? Which character are you secretly crushing on? Get ready, because in this twist on the classic, there's a lot more to each character than meets the eye. In Riverdale, nothing and nobody are as they seem. Do not miss the jaw-dropping series premiere on the must-see new show, Riverdale, Thursday, January 26th, only on the CW. And I will be on that panel, which
That's
I'm very
awesome.
excited about. So we are going to be taping that, I believe, at 9 on Thursday, so check us out here. And I am very excited about that show, and it does
look like a very good show.
It does have a lot of similarities to this show. Next, we have Magnus and Simon, Raphael, this whole, and then Camille, which
I was happy to see Camille for once.
Because she had a baby, like, and then so
in real life,
right?
Yeah,
and so then when she came back, like, she'd already had the baby, right? Okay,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to see the baby at all? Like, did she have it on?
No, I wasn't there when she was shooting. So no, I didn't get. But I see her pictures on Instagram.
Yes, that's so cute.
She's adorable.
Yes.
I forgot how beautiful of a woman she was.
Right?
She's gorgeous.
She is.
I was like, dang.
Yeah, she's probably one of those people too in real life. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, she's gorgeous in life too. Yeah. She's not just photogenic. She's actually a beautiful girl. Yeah.
And I just want to say, I love like Magnus and his connection that we're learning more about to the Downworlders.
Me too.
And, you know, he had a very interesting connection with Jocelyn, too, which I know fans had questions about, which we're going to get into later. But he is helping them. He feels as though they're his children. It's his responsibility. And
because he's so old.
Yeah, he is.
You're thinking about it.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
He could have millions of children at this point.
Yeah.
At this point.
Which he kind of does. And, you know, well, yes, in a way.
Very true.
And Simon's the newest.
Yes, he is.
I love that relationship. It's so cute.
It is nice to see Magnus with all these little break off scenes with him and like a character we haven't really seen him much with before. It's kind of nice seeing them. And then, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you have like a scene where he got very angry at you?
The door in my face.
Yes, how rude.
How rude. It was so and I was really trying to help. I was just trying to help.
I know.
And it's one of those sad things though, because I think you understand both sides of it. And he's had such a long history that, you know, we're just cracking the egg here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure out what's been going on with him.
I feel like we've been learning a lot more about Magnus this season than last, which I'm loving.
Yes.
Like digging deep into the character and finding out about him.
And in a way, too, I'm glad that the Simon and Magnus relationship is building, and they're showing us that, because I think Lou's going to be a bit preoccupied dealing with Jocelyn's death and not really wanting to mentor someone and babysit them. I think he's going to be glad.
Are you talking about like how he usually kind of mentors Simon? So Simon's kind of getting passed to Magnus now because Luke's going to have to deal with a lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a lot going on at the moment. So glad Simon is someone else, because that poor kid does not know what to do with himself.
No, he does not. Clueless. But he's so funny.
He's so adorable.
Yeah.
So he's one of my favorites.
Oh God, I love him. He's amazing. He has some of the greatest lines on the show.
Yeah.
I like how the whole band manager thing is still playing out with his
Raphael.
mom called. I was like, are you still sticking with that story? How long are you going to be sticking with that story?
Yeah.
Like, my band manager is making me do this and this.
Yeah. So, you know, Magnus ends up sending basically Raphael and Simon away for a moment, and he knows what to do and how to get Camille back and to send her in a portal to Idris and lock her up.
Which was very well done. Like, he just kind of like did his hand, and like that was intense, like the portal and everything.
Like
He's just everything he does is so choreographed. Like, it's never just like, oh, I'm making a portal. It's like so involved.
But it's also
the
effortless,
gesture,
right?
Yeah. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's very elegant.
Yes.
He really is. We love us some Harry. We really do.
Who doesn't?
We're gonna get back into Jace and you know, the new head of, I keep on messing up how to say his name.
Victor
Aldertree.
Yeah.
Aldertree. Yeah. He is not like, I just don't know what to think about this guy at this point.
It's funny because that's what I wrote every time I would tweet about it. I don't know how do you and that my hashtag was Aldertree makes me go
Oh yeah.
You just kind of go, I don't know about that guy. I just don't know what to make of him. Yeah.
It's like you want to not like him, but then again he's kind of seems like a good guy sometimes, and then other times not. So it's very weird. Yeah.
Giovanna on the chat said Aldertree crossing some lines he shouldn't have. Grabs bread knife.
Yes.
Grabs bread knife.
She's kind of slaying the chat right now, Giovanna. Just saying.
Well, thank you for watching.
Giovanna Kobe.
Yes.
So, but he did some things with Jace, I think, that we all didn't necessarily agree with. And, you know, he questions him with the sword, in which he has to tell the truth. And
which was super awkward.
Yes, again, to Clary stuff.
That scene was really good, by the way.
I feel like instead of asking more important questions, like, okay, about the certain situations to see where his loyalty lies, he was asking very specific questions about Clary and him and his relationship. And it's almost like he kind of got off on how, like, about this weird twisted relationship, and he didn't ask some of the questions that I expected him to, kind of like, oh, okay, well, what happened when you were with your father? What did he do? Like, did you help him, type of thing? It was very more focused on his relationship with Clary, which was kind of interesting, and he was kind of smirking like he was really into it.
Ew.
It was weird.
Yeah.
See, this is where
it was really dark.
Like, Aldertree makes me go,
Yeah.
Well, you know, someone in the chat brought up too how he brought up the Falcon with Jace.
Oh, yeah.
And was pretty familiar with Jace's story, so...
Creepily familiar, like stalkerish familiar.
That's his background check, that's for sure. Comes prepared.
Yeah. Likes to hit it where it hurts, and it's super embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, we see kind of them come together when Valentine comes and starts just slaying City of Bones. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was... Oh...
It was,
That was an intense break-in. Like, it wasn't just like, okay, I'm taking over. It was like, we're murdering every single person in sight.
Of course, it's Valentine.
Yeah,
He's the devil.
He is. He was taking over.
He doesn't hold back.
But you loved him. You once loved him.
Yeah, but he wasn't the devil when I loved him. And then he went to the dark side. He's like Darth Vader. He was Anakin Skywalker.
It's so true, though.
And then he went to the dark side. It just got the better of him.
Yeah.
Or he was just really good at
It's true. No.
Yeah, it's very true. And I did love... That was one of my favorite storylines of the show, is whenever we got those flashbacks with you and Isaiah and Alan. It was so neat to kind of see that story kind of play out last season, because it was just interesting, because we all kind of knew kind of what happened, but seeing it play out in front of us and all the flashbacks, that just made it so much better. So we were all on the same page, and we saw, okay, like, this is why they broke up, type of thing, and this is why Luke slid in and took over, and it made us realize, okay, Luke didn't just steal, you know.
There's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason.
She had somebody to comfort her and take care of her, But I mean, and that's one of the things that I thought that was really hurtful, is that Jocelyn never had the chance to explain to Clary how it happened. Also, that she just, she woke up, and then the first episode, the first episode, when the first conversation that they have, like, you married the devil. And she didn't get the chance to say, listen, he wasn't like that before, like, he wasn't, he was great. And actually, I had those lines, but they cut it. She actually explained the way he was and the man that she fell in love with, which was too bad that the audience didn't get to see that.
Bonus scenes on the DVD.
There's so many things that I wish that we could see played out with your character, just so, just for clarification and and I
clarification.
Definitely.
I get it.
That's true, because you're basically kind of what started this entire thing in a way.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
I just got the chills.
If I hadn't stolen the cup, there wouldn't be a series.
I know. It's like they should have thought of that.
They're like, wouldn't be a world.
There wouldn't be a whole world.
I know.
Everybody would be dead.
For Jocelyn.
So you're right. You know what? It's like...
That's our studio audience.
That's basically the entire Twitter world and Shadowhunters family world. That was them clapping.
Yeah, I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. I turned from sad to angry.
And then
that's what Clary did in this episode, though, too.
Well, let's talk about what happens. I don't want to.
Mama's here.
God. Alec. Clary finds Alec. What have I done with blood all over him? And then it's like she knows that someone important to her.
I knew it was coming to.
I didn't think it was your character. I thought maybe it was like Raj, you know, and I would have been okay with that.
I would have been okay with that.
To be completely honest, I love him. He's an awesome actor, and I think he's a great role. But I was okay with that, you know. I was all right.
Or like, I mean, as much as Lydia, I'm really starting to like her. I would have been okay if it was Lydia over Jocelyn.
Me too.
I'm sorry to say that, but it wasn't. And
it would have been poetic too that he killed Lydia because they were supposed to get married.
Oh,
that would have been.
Yeah.
It
would have been kind of tragic. Too.
Yeah, and when Clary finds you, it was just so heartbreaking. And then you feel bad for Alec too, because he didn't have control over what he was doing. But he's also just so mean to Clary on a regular basis that it's like, of course it would be you. Of course it would be Alec that did this to her.
Yeah. Although I did like her reaction whenever he was like, "I am so sorry." She's like, "Shh."
I got demon.
So it's like, it's, in that moment, I'm sure she obviously felt any human emotion, like, okay, this guy just killed my mother, but at the same time, in her head, she was like, I know that you can say, it's this demon. So I did appreciate that she kind of didn't shift the blame fully on Alec, but I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of weird tension / anger coming out later, because she didn't have time to process her emotions yet, until even at the end of the episode, she kind of goes into shock. So she doesn't know what she's feeling because it's all happening so fast. I feel like she hasn't had a time to react yet.
I think the thing that got me the most was the initial reaction from Clary. I was like, oh.
Well, she was like in slow motion a lot of the time, and everybody else wasn't, and I loved that. It was so cool.
It tugged at our heart.
It really did. And then, Simon comes, and now, climbing all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, even though Simon's a vampire, wouldn't Jocelyn, do you think Jocelyn always been like rooting for this guy?
Oh yeah, she loves Simon. That's another storyline that would have been nice, is that I'm actually very good friends with the Christina Cox who plays his mom. She's a good friend of mine. We did a series together, Defying Gravity, and so we were totally rooting to have a scene together, like the moms, and there was like, we had imagined this whole scene of Jocelyn, Simon telling his mom, and then Jocelyn stepping in and say, I'm going to take care of your son. Don't worry. I'm going to take over.
That would have been so amazing.
He's in my world now, but don't worry. I've got his back. So that would have been nice.
That would have been very nice.
Yeah.
Can that be like a dream sequence? Now I want that scene to happen.
Again, now I'm pissed.
And dream sequences are great and everything, but at the same time, those kind of hurt me too, because I'm like, okay, well, it's not real,
Yeah.
It's like we can see it and it's visually pleasing, but it's not real. So
just like television.
And they normally happen at the beginning of an episode, which is even like more like, wait, is this real? What am I watching? And then you're like, oh.
Yeah, but the dream sequences, I had one last year in episode 6 with Luke when he was hurt. And he had this dream about me, and I came in and I actually told him something true. Like, it was a real hint. So I think the dream sequences in Shadowhunters are very different. I think they can be totally realistic.
That's true.
I think they can come in and give messages or something.
That is pretty cool.
Before we get into the questions that we have, I just want to say I really thought that at the end, when there was Izzy and Alec, and, because Clary basically saved the day, though. It's not like she purposely was trying to hurt Izzy, because the demon was inside of her. And then Jace comes, and it's like the three of them versus Simon and Clary. I just felt like there's going to be a very big divide at this point. And I didn't like it very much. I thought, why is no one... Clary just basically saved Alec's life, saved Izzy's life.
Yeah.
Her mother just died.
And she's off alone, and everyone else was like all clumped together, and Jace kind of saw it and was like, eh. And I don't think at this point Jace knows what's happened to Jocelyn. He just kind of walks in on this and just decides, I'm going to go comfort Alec type of thing. So I feel like Simon was the only person who kind of went over to comfort her, which was very sad. But I feel like Izzy is obviously there for her brother, but I feel like I wanted to see, instead of like two piles of people hugging each other, I wanted to see them all together.
Yeah.
But,
group hug.
Yeah, group hug.
Yeah.
Let's hug it out.
I feel like at the end of the day, though, the demon kind of just like represented the division throughout the episode. I feel like that was the point of the demon, to like come in and divide everyone. And now they have to figure out how to
That's true.
bond
That's a good point.
again.
Wow. God. That was an intense episode. And
Sam loved it.
I mean, I did. I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally exhausted. We had a lot of really great questions from fans. Slay Frey, at Slay Frey on Twitter, said, was it hard filming the scene in episode 1 when Jocelyn wanted to shoot/kill Jace?
No. No, it wasn't hard. I mean, no, because... okay, so we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it. So...
But why? Just to protect her?
No, but in the second episode, you find out that he's a demon, and she went to, like, the biggest, most powerful warlock, and he had a vision that he would only lead the world to destruction and death. So she, again, is trying to save humanity because she thinks that this guy is going to destroy the planet. So I understand the fans to be like, no, it's Jace, and I love Jace. But in her mind, this is the devil. Yeah. It's not her, like, her son is possessed with something else.
And was injected with demon blood.
Yes. So, I think her intentions were, again, to save the world, and but people think that, that's her son, and they don't, I don't know, they're not processing the whole information that she gave in the second episode. Ooh, yeah. So in her mind, she's doing the right thing.
Which made sense after the fact, but everyone at the initial shock was like, oh my gosh, what is she doing?
Crazy. Yeah.
Maxim Roy Ita, so Maxim Roy Italy, wants to know, if you could enter into the show, what would you say to Jocelyn?
Like you as an actress.
Like as an actress, if you could like go into this kind of world.
I like that question. That's a good question.
That's a good question. I think, oh my gosh, I don't know what I would say to her. I would say, chin up, like you're doing the right thing, and people will find out. Sometimes you do things and then years later people go, oh my God, she was right. Yeah. I think that's the case for Jocelyn. So just, hang in there. That's what I would have told her. Yeah.
Aww.
Shadowchild_13 asked, what was your reaction reading the script for this episode?
Well, I knew. So I already knew. It wasn't like I was handed a script and it was, surprise, you're dying. They had told me already. So I didn't know how it was going to happen, though. That was a bit of a shocker. And kind of not hurtful, but to have your heart ripped out. Yeah. It's kind of, bad. It's kind of wrenching. Yeah. I was disappointed not to have a huge fight scene. Like I would have liked Jocelyn to go out like a heroine and just like kick ass. Cool. Yeah, because she's supposed to be like this great fighter. Yes. So that would have been nice.
Like a scene like Lydia kind of had in this.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very cool scene. Okay, so again, I'm loving Slay Frey's questions here. What was it like working with Kat and having that strong mother-daughter bond on set?
Well, Kat is flawless. She's the kind of girl that she's an A-type. Mm-hmm. She shows up, she's ready, she knows her lines, she's done her background research. So she's been, she's only 21. It feels like she's 65. Like she's been doing this forever. So it's really easy to work with Kat. She's a huge pro, so
she's great, and she's one of the sweetest.
Yes,
she's very nice.
Yeah.
She came on the show. She came twice last year, and before she even met Dakota, she saw on Twitter that it was his birthday and brought cupcakes. Yeah, to the studio.
The episode was on my birthday, and so she literally came in. Had not even met me yet and brought me like a dozen cupcakes, and it was so sweet.
And her cupcakes are good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's a great baker.
Well, she got them from this place, but I mean, she knows how to pick out some cupcakes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And she's a great baker.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome.
It was still very nice.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so Alexa Rosie 12 wants to know, what character would you have liked Jocelyn to have interacted with more?
Many. Jace, obviously. Maris, I think would have been interesting. Luke, obviously. Simon. So everybody. Everybody. And Valentine. Yes. I would have loved to have had a scene with Valentine. I would have kicked his ass so bad, because we joked about that. I was like, I want to fight. I would say, I want a fight scene. He was like, no fight scenes. And I was like, why not? I think he was afraid of me. I think it was afraid
of funny.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would have been a like really cool scene to have with him.
That would
just like let him have it.
Battle it out.
Yeah.
Well, very quickly, guys, because we're running out of time. In like very quick sentence, let's get into predictions for next week.
Yes.
Oh.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Go first, Dakota.
My prediction is that, just from seeing the little preview, I think that it's going to go wrong with Clary trying to bring her mom back. She's going to go to the wrong warlock who's not a good warlock, and she's going to do some crazy stuff, and it's not going to bring you back. It's going to be something bad. I feel like it's going to go in a dark, negative place for a while. That's what I think. And I hate to say that, but I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I think Luke is going to have a really tough time in the upcoming episodes. We're going to see a lot of Luke. Luke's reaction is going to be like Sam's reaction over there.
Yes. She's going to go, it's going to go through phases. It's going to go through sadness, anger, pissed. Like, there's a difference between anger and pissed.
Yes, there definitely is. Yeah. And if you can get, because I mean, you don't really know exactly what's going to happen at this point, right? No. What do you think everyone's going to do dealing with your death?
I hope they're devastated.
Yeah, they better be. They better not move on.
Be devastated. So I have no idea. Like, because it's going in so many different directions, I don't know what to expect. I have no clue. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that to not spoil anything. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would love the Valentine meltdown thing to happen.
That would be nice. Like,
no,
I'd
be so down.
Just like scream out my name, crying.
Yep.
Yeah,
like in a room by himself.
Just like in a fetal position. Yeah, that'd be great.
So I actually just came up with this prediction just now. I had a epiphany. I think that Valentine is going to be so upset and feel so responsible for the first time really ever that he is going to fix it.
Oh.
That he is going to feel bad and he's going to bring you back.
How?
And I don't know. He has his weird ways, but he's going to try really hard at least. And I think that Clary and Simon are going to become a thing and grief kiss. You know?
Grief kiss, yes.
Oh, a grief kiss.
Those are always
cute.
Yes.
Oh, exactly.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
It was amazing having you. And Becca, let's start with you. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. And if you like this show, then check out our Beyond After show on Mondays.
Yes. You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
And Maxim, one more time.
Twitter, Mademoiselle, MLLE, Maxim Roy. I'm actually on Snapchat and I forgot. It's real Maxim Roy. And on IG, Maxim Roy _
Awesome. And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, SamDavidsonEntertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. And don't forget to watch the Vampire Diaries and Riverdale panels, which I am both on. Riverdale is Thursday, Vampire Diaries is Sunday. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos,
the views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.